On today's World Insight, ASEAN Foreign Ministers gather in the Indonesian capital Jakarta for this year's meeting. Amid geopolitical tensions and efforts to broker peace in conflict zones, what does ASEAN unity and centrality mean for the association and the broader region? And the world appeal of Hong Kong's top universities, what makes them unique? Answers from HKSAR's Education Secretary.
Hello, I'm Tian Wei, and welcome to World Insight. Indonesia rolls out the red carpet for the 56th ASEAN Foreign Ministers Meeting in the capital city of Jakarta. With this year's theme, ASEAN Matters, Epicentrum of Growth, the meeting focuses on maintaining ASEAN unity and centrality with a mission of peace and stability in the community. So what's the top diplomats' agenda? Will the meeting bring new thoughts on the cooperation among ASEAN members? Let's take a look at my conversation with experts of the region. In Jakarta, Dr. Suzy Sudarman, the Associate Principal of the Indonesian Institute of Advanced Studies in Jakarta, and also in Kuala Lumpur, Kazi Mahmood, an ASEAN Affairs Analyst based in Kuala Lumpur. In Beijing, Song Qingren, Professor from the School of Asian Studies with Beijing Foreign Studies University. Ladies and gentlemen, what a pleasure to see you here. Now, the ASEAN Foreign Ministers Meeting is an important one, and many wonder what will be and can be achieved. Let's go to you, Mr. Song, your analysis and as an observer.
We know that ASEAN plays a central role in regional cooperation. Now, in this week, ASEAN is holding ASEAN-related foreign minister meetings. Many countries' foreign ministers, such as China, US, Russia, Japan, ROK, and other countries, and also in ASEAN countries, foreign ministers will get together in Jakarta for to conduct many meetings. Many countries' foreign ministers will talk about many important issues this week, such as peaceful regional peace and climate change issues, for security, economic recovery, and also Myanmar issue, and also ASEAN community construction, and many other issues. So I think after this issue, after these meetings, ASEAN is and countries and its dialogue partners will issue several documents about these meetings outcomes. So we can hope that these meetings will push forward the regional stability, peace, and development.
At the same time, when ASEAN is trying to put its own house into the order, it is being asked by many important players in the world as to where it stands. ASEAN has been prescribing the rest of the world this ASEAN centrality, but exactly how ASEAN is making its choices, particularly now, in order to keep a balance and be relevant at the same time.
So it's much more flexible in terms of not dictating everyone to sit together, because things has to be slowly resolved. And if it's slowly resolved, maybe there'll be solutions about unity. Unity is very difficult because the countries are divided between different foreign powers, and Indonesia is facing the possibility of developing into a country that can leave middle income trap, and you need help from all the countries. So we kind of like stalemated, you know. We need China, we need the US, we need Europe, and then we have to resolve things, and things are not easy to resolve. Okay, that's where it is now.
ASEAN has been an important chunk of RCEP which is one of the very few trade mechanisms that managed to soar even in the middle of the pandemic years. Now, how much will that bring synergy and also a new motivation to create interactions in trade and economic ties, do you think, at this moment?
At this moment, I think first we have to welcome what you call Istimo into ASEAN meetings, which is very, very important for the region. We have now a new member coming, right? And they will play a role, and they are a region to develop. So this will be important for ASEAN and China-ASEAN relations, believe me. And the other thing I would say that in this world of a lot of difficulties going on around us, I would say that China is offering something else to the ASEAN. You know, we have a battle of thoughts between the Western world and Asia. We have a battle of philosophy, you know, and the Western world is trying to impose its philosophy on us here in the region. When it comes to development, when it comes to funding and financing, but China has the alternative to Western countries for the ASEAN region. And RCEP will be, in my point of view, humble point of view, it will be the focus point where China will be able to bring on board the ASEAN countries to understand its philosophies and policies, which are very close to the ASEAN countries' philosophies and policies, believe me, because we are in ASEAN, we know, and we read a lot about China, we hear a lot about China, and we have many similarities, and these will play a very big focus role in the development of RCEP.
As we know that when the international supply chains and value chains are changing, the roles of ASEAN economies and its relations with China has been evolving as well. So how do you understand that, Mr. Mahmood? And what does that mean for a new types of interactions between ASEAN economies and China, for example?
Like we say, China is a very big chunk of progress and development, not only for trade, you know, not only in trade value, but in progress and development. In ASEAN, China plays a very big role, a very big chunk of it comes from China. Recently, Malaysian Prime Minister went to China and concluded a deal of $170 billion with the Chinese firms. There are a lot of questions about it. Where will the money come from and so on? But we understand China is not broke. China has the capacity to come in the region and continue its development process that we have been seeing here in the rail development, in the infrastructure development, in the building construction. China plays a very big role in Malaysia, in Indonesia, in Myanmar, in Cambodia, where I have been, you know, and also in other parts of this world. So there is a fusion. To me, there is a fusion. ASEAN needs the money to continue developing. ASEAN has a target to achieve. Many of the ASEAN countries want their population to be rich, to have money to spend. China is the country where the money can come from, where they can source funding and bring development in technology, in infrastructure, and in other aspects.
There are many moving factors that will have or will not have a big impact eventually on what is going on or how the world and our region is being shaped in the future. But we don't know at this point. So here's a critical choice probably everybody has to make. That is, do we need to stay stable in terms of the earlier principles and try to hold on as much as possible, despite of the fact that from time to time it could appear to be weak? Or do we move with a direction that we do not know yet clearly, that we might be quote unquote successful and we might not be successful, and that result will have a big impact on the future of us? Dr. Sudaman.
Yes.
What about that moving factor that I mentioned and the apparent choice that people sometimes hurry to make?
I think what needs to be done, if it's going to be any solution, is that they have to rethink of the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation, because there's a lot of weaknesses in the treaty because they want to be together, and yet the non-interference is a problem because you may want to interfere on something that may be weakening the association, and you cannot do that. And so whether they're going to go into the direction, it seems that it's not going into that direction, because they're going to be discussing about nuclear, they're going to be discussing about other things, and the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation will remain the same, and Myanmar will remain stalemated, and we are being threatened left and right by two superpowers. And then we also don't have any reason to discuss anything because it's all under the table. You know, if you want to give something to make them quiet a little bit, okay, let's smuggle some things, but don't tell the people what's going on. You know, it's like, this is not rocket science. It should be more transparent, more able to be discussed on the table, and then people just don't discuss things because this is a conflict that may involve existential existence of a country, and the possibility of unemployment in other countries if we don't let go of our critical minerals. That's the issue here. So it's very difficult.
How is China looking at working with ASEAN colleagues on proceeding with the BRI and bring this nation and bring this region more vitality, even at a time when the world is suffering from divisions, fragmentations, fake news, and difficulties from tell what is right, what is true, and what is not?
You know, now the whole world is facing a very difficult situation. And also China, ASEAN, also other Asia region now are also facing a difficult situation now. So during this situation, it's really important for us to make more joint efforts to boost our cooperation, because we are in this region, we are Asian countries. Now, only we just to put the fake news and also rumors aside more, and then we can do more actions, cooperation actions to build more projects, cooperation projects, to build more transnational ways, connect, to boost our connectivity, and also to boost our trade, and also boost our media to media, the academic to academic, the people to people exchange, to decrease the misunderstanding. So only we can conduct more cooperation in this region to boost our digital economy cooperation, railways, transnational railways connection, and also the green BRI, and also the blue partnership, I mean the marine economy cooperation in the future. More and more cooperation will help us, China, ASEAN, also this region, also the whole world, to get out of the gloomy situation as soon as possible.